tell you right now, we did some trivia questions earlier. This panel is actually going to set a record for Spookala. Okay, so first, this is now going to be, I think this is the 5th time I've had Scream people on the stage. I think it's the 5th, so don't quote me on that one, I might be lying. But this is going to be the largest panel as far as the actual number of actual people on the stage with me. This will be the largest actual cast panel ever by one person. Does that sound good? Do you guys want to have an absolute school bus of Scream movie people come up on the stage with me? I think that was far, far, far too quiet. You guys need to show some love and make some noise for Lynn, McRee, Earl, Marley, Shelton, Erik, Knudsen, Jack Champion, Liana, Liberato, and Jack Quaid from the Scream. This is nice and cozy to have 8 of us around these tables. It's like, this is like Thanksgiving dinner, like in a really weird setting, isn't it? So I want to make sure that you guys out there know, of the 7 on this stage, only 1 has ever been on a Scream panel before. I'm not sure if you can know who it is. So we've made a deal backstage that since she is the Scream veteran, no one is allowed to speak without her permission.
No, they have to run it by me. So
there's far too many murderers on this stage, so nobody wants to get out alive.
It's the ultimate murderer's row.
The ultimate murderer's row, so I need to just be very careful with this. Liana's actually been a really good sport about that, but how cool is it that you've got 7 people from the Screamverse up here, and only 1 of them has ever been on a Spookala stage before, so you have 6 new Scream panelists. Now, obviously, Jack Quaid was up here last night. Do you guys remember him up here last night? What's that show he was on here for? Hey! Isn't it awesome being able to see a full house 2 nights in a row?
This is it, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. This is wonderful. I've had such a good time here. I know we all have. You guys are the fucking best. Thank you.
So, because we have so many people up here, I'm going to go right down the line just so you know who they are and you can be reminded of who these people are. So, this fine gentleman right here, you might remember him from There's Something About Mary, but you also might remember him as
Kenny,
the one who just gets absolutely browbeaten in the original Scream all the time.
that's right.
Beside Kenny, who might you be?
My name is Maureen Prescott. I'm really not the whore that I'm meant out to be. I'm really not, you know. So I had a few lovers, but I mean, girls, haven't we all? Also known as Maureen Prescott, also known as some other bitch. I'm sorry. Deb Campbell's mom, Sydney, and my name in real life is Lynn McRee. I'm so happy.
McRee is probably one of the sweetest people to ever set foot in a Spookala building, is she not? And right beside her,
hi, Sheriff! Hi, Sheriff! Deputy/Sheriff Judy Hicks.
So now we're actually going to go to the end of the row. Now, the only reason being is because he actually was in a movie with the deputy. So, who might you be, good sir?
My name is Robbie Mercer, Scream 4. Erik Knudsen.
And Erik, this is your first con experience, isn't it?
Very first convention.
So,
I'm loving it.
let him know how happy you are that he picked Spookala as his very first show.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
All right, so the reason I skipped down there is because the other 3, there's some kind of familial relation, right? Why don't you let everybody know who you siblings are down there?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Hi, Richie Kirsch, Scream 5. Hello, Tampa. My name is Jack Quaid. I said hi earlier. Okay. Come on, siblings, let's do this.
Hello, I'm Liana Liberato. And I play Quinn Bailey/Kirsch, Quinn Kirsch.
back-to-back champion, and I play Ethan Landry.
Isn't this an awesome cross-section of Scream that's up here on the stage? That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go to the two of you first here. So, when you were getting ready to film this first movie, was there any thought in your mind in any way, hey, you know what? We might be like, you know, the OGs of this universe, and I'm going to be sitting up here with all these kind of people in front of a packed house just from this one little movie that we're going to make?
Not at all. I mean, I had worked with Wes twice before, and when we were friends, and I'd heard about Scary Movie, as most of you, I'm sure you know, the original script is called Scary Movie. And everyone was talking about it, and I read it. And Kevin and I are the same age, so all the references that he's making to the movies that I saw. So we met up at Wes's house. We all had dinner together, and Wes said to us, he goes, "We are making a satire of the genre. However, never ever fall into the trap of playing funny, because if this movie is not scary, it won't be funny." And he said, that's a valuable lesson I learned on my last movie, which was Vampire in Brooklyn. So anyway, we go up there. No one, you know, Drew was the only movie star in the whole movie, and we killed her off in the first week. Friends was just starting to become like crazy famous, but it hadn't happened yet. So there were no expectations whatsoever that, you know, the movie would probably be in theaters for a couple of weeks and then make some money on VHS. To answer your question, I had no idea that 28 years later that we would be here, that there would be this life. So thank all of you.
Well, I wasn't invited to dinner at Wes's house. I'm just here for, you know, just making a true statement. I got a call from my agent in San Francisco who called the casting director and said, "Hey, there's an audition for you, Santa Rosa, California. Listen, I gotta go, I'm really busy." Click. All I had was an address and a time, and I went. So crazy. I walked into a room of me lookalikes. I went, what the heck's going on here? Walked into a room, there's Wes. I didn't know who Wes Craven was at the time. We're talking 1990. And the next day I got a call from my agent, and she said, "You booked the role." I went, "Okay, what role is that?" And then I found out about Scream, and I learned who beautiful, beloved Wes Craven was. And the next thing I know, I'm in Santa Rosa 2 months later with Nev Campbell. They're shooting the original on location, and I'm waiting for Nev to finish her scene so we can do stills together. Because as you all know, Maureen was a slut and she was killed before the original even opened. Yeah, not true. Actually, not true. I mean, the slut part. And we shot with Nev. She's an absolute sweetheart. I felt like she was a daughter of mine. And the rest, as you all know, as they say, is history. I had no idea 2 years later Wes was going to come up with this idea of, maybe Nev can have a dream, and maybe Mom can come back in the dream out of the grave. And you know what happened in Scream 3. I am so honored and humbled to be in front of all of you. We would not be here if it weren't for you. Long live the fans.
All right, so we're going to move down the list just a little bit. So, Marley. Judy Hicks is pretty much of a badass. She is pretty much of a badass, and she gets to fight alongside Dewey, David Arquette, who's been here many times, such a super, super nice guy. What was it like for you being able to act alongside of someone who's such a complete icon in the whole Scream universe?
Well, I actually worked with David before in Never Been Kissed, and I knew him socially, so that was just, there was a real ease, just, already knowing someone when you go to work with them. But the icon part was actually really easy because, as you guys know, Judy is obsessed with Dewey, and she idolizes him and wants to be exactly like him and make him proud. So all of that kind of fed into the icon status that he already had as Dewey that we all know from the Scream movies. So it was really easy. I just got to be a fan. A crazy fan. A tough fan. A gun-wielding fan.
So we're going to move down to the end here. So, in movies, sometimes there are elements in a movie that are going to stand the test of time. It doesn't matter if it's a movie that happens now or happened 20 or 30 years ago. The outfits, the props are going to stand the test of time. There are other props that maybe get a little bit dated.
What are you talking about?
You know what? So Erik, would you be caught dead in 2024 wearing that headgear from the podcast?
People wear that nowadays. It's just on their shoulder instead. No, I mean he was ahead of the game. When they came up with that, they didn't have any technology that resembled anything like that could do that. There wasn't Twitch live streaming, YouTube live streaming. Well, there was, but it wasn't as mainstream as it was. So we had to come up with something. A webcam taped onto a Sony headset with a little toggle switch that would turn on a red light. That was cool.
So was there, I mean, I'm sure at that point, you're like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Was there any point where you got to be like, man, I don't know if this is as cool as it was. I wish I didn't have this on my banner at the booth. Or did you just kind of embrace it?
No, I embraced it. I mean, I was such a big fan of Scream, like, growing up. They had many different variations of what they were going to put on me, but I know at one point they wanted me to turn the camera around, so when I'm looking, the live feed was supposed to be delayed, so I don't really know what's coming up behind me. The audience knows. I'm waiting for the feed to see what I'm seeing. So we had to make something that would flip around, that I could turn on and off, and it looked cool. But no, I mean, I didn't care what they made. I was such a big Scream fan. To be able to even audition for it was the most exciting part of my life, and then to do a callback, and then do another callback, and then two or 3 days later, fly out to Michigan and shoot it. I would wear leotards. I would wear whatever you want me to be in that movie.
Fair enough. So you know, so you want to wear a Scream leotard? That's what you want. You want to be the model.
I'm down.
All right, so let's move on to the siblings. So the last show, Liana was here. We were able to talk about, were you able to do the fight scenes with the other female characters? What was the relationship like between the three of you guys during filming? And at what point did you find out in the script reads that you guys were actually who you really were?
Man, okay, yeah. I mean, so I didn't know that Richie had siblings or a family when I shot Scream 5. I had my own backstory, whatever. It was just for me to use. But I remember later, while they were shooting Scream 6, I get a call from Matt and Tyler, those directors, and they told me like, hey, don't tell anybody, but the killers are gonna be your family. And I was like, that's amazing. And then I remember I was shooting The Boys in Toronto. I took a little break. I went down to New York. I went for the Scream 6 premiere. I'm there to, support, Melissa and Jasmine and everybody, Jenna and everyone from Scream 5 who survived into Scream 6. And I'm at this little before party before the premiere, and I meet these two amazing people, and I'm like, they look a little like me. A little bit. And I remember going up to, I think it was Matt, and I'm like, are this my... And he's like, oh, you mean those people that look exactly like you? Yeah, they're your family, and they're the killers. And the fact that you're Jack, your name is also Jack. I was just kinship immediately. I feel like we all became siblings just at that party. It was amazing. But I'll let you guys speak to it.
I feel like it wasn't until day one of filming that I found out we were siblings.
Oh yeah, I actually, because I didn't get to read the full script, I got the first 2/3, and then during my costume fitting, I did all the, whatever I was wearing, and then at the very end, they brought out the robe and the mask and everything, and I was in shock, and somewhere they have it on video of me falling down because I was in such shock, but it was, amazing.
Yeah,
and then I read the rest.
I remember one of our first days, we had a living room scene, and it was all of us.
Yeah.
And remember we had kind of just found out that we were siblings, and I don't think it makes it in the cut because it would have been too obvious, but I remember us talking about like sharing a look at one point.
Yeah, like little
when
things.
Sam and Tara were saying they were gonna leave New York.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's have a moment there just for fun. But yeah, we found out honestly like right before we started filming.
Yeah, like right before.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
All right, so we're going to go back to you. So, your character gets given a hard time by Gale Weathers all the time. Do you feel like your character maybe should have fought back a little bit, or was he just the kind of guy that was just going to take that lip and do his job?
Kenny was just the sort of guy that wanted to get along with everybody. The story I've told some of you at the table, the line everyone knows is, "My name's not Jesus." That one came about. There was nothing written. It was her. Kenny grabbed the camera once. She goes, "Jesus, grab the camera." Wes says there needs to be something in there. Just say something in response. So we did a couple of takes, and then he comes up to me and he goes, "I've got it. Say to her, my name's not Jesus. Say that." And that's the line everyone wants to put on a poster. So that's how it came about. And again, I was really sad about the sequel when I found out how much money everyone was going to make for the sequel. I know me and Jamie, we all got paid the same. They got paid a lot more for the sequel. So.
All right, so Lynn, so you are a character that is very much about your reputation precedes you. And what I mean by that is, like you said, you weren't even really in the first Scream. It was just the aura and the lore of your character. How odd is it for you to, once you finally got on screen, you're like, people already know who I am. They already know about this character. They probably know more about me than I do when I step foot in front of the camera when you actually got that opportunity.
Or at least you knew the theories and the rumors, and I don't know, were they true? I don't know. I'm thinking personally, I'm going to segue from the question for just a moment.
Do whatever you want to do.
Personally, I think Maureen Prescott is still alive and well. I think her death has been covered up and she's been hanging out with her lover in Europe somewhere. And we're going to do a prequel as soon as Kevin Williamson and I have a conversation in private. And Maureen is going to come back to reunite with her mom, Sid. Somebody's probably going to fall on her face when Maureen knocks on the door, but nonetheless, that's my plan. What do you all think?
So funny. I actually think that Judy has an evil twin that might show up. I'm going to talk to Kevin as well. And
No, the evil twin is Benny. Benny, the cameraman.
we all want that, franchise money.
Well, Judy, it's actually kind of funny that you bring that up because you were going to be the next one I was going to come to. Were you thrilled to get the callback? And then were you honored, or were you like, got it, I just got killed off? Oh, did you want to be able to keep going?
I lobbied so hard to stay alive. I not only talked to the directors and the producer, I ran it up the flagpole to the studio. And I had this great case. I was like, guys, you need the law enforcement arm. If you're gonna kill Dewey, you gotta have somebody, there's a legacy here with the police department. And they just weren't having it. They had a different idea, so.
In the first one, Dewey was killed. And then they added the scene of him being in the ambulance because the studio loved David. They wanted to keep David around. So if I remember correctly, initially Dewey was gone, but then they shoved him in the ambulance. So
you just you never give up hope in the universe of Scream.
So Erik, last show we met one of your cohorts who was very integral in your scenes, which was Rory Culkin. You guys here last time? How cool was Rory, right? So Rory was your partner in doing the webcasting in the movie. What was it like for you to work with him, but also what was it like when you realized, holy crap, he was one of the guys that basically set you up to get murdered?
Tell me about it. Well, the thing is, too, is that he didn't tell me about it when we were filming as well. I mean, filming with Rory, that was my bud in real life. And in the show, or in the movie, and in real life, we would come back to my hotel room, smoke shisha, hookah. It's legal. Just chill every day. He was my guy, and we bonded really strong. In fact, funny story is that we, at one point I was passing a kidney stone, and I didn't know, and me and him went to Grand Rapids, which is like 3 hours away from where we were filming, and when we got to Grand Rapids, that's when the kidney stone kind of kicked in, and I told him I wasn't feeling good, had to go to the emergency room, found out I had a kidney stone. He stayed in the hospital room with me all night until 6 a.m. when I drove home, and he was a good guy, so he's a champ. I didn't know that he was going to be the killer. They didn't tell anyone. He knew. We kind of got a little hint when he had a trainer, and he was going to the gym, and he's getting jacked. And I never got a trainer, and I was...
But you got a headset.
I got a headset. But no, they try to, they put lifts in our shoes, too, to kind of equal us all out, because I'm a little guy, and they want to make sure everyone's not little. So, we all kind of equaled out in height, so they would never reveal, but Emma and Rory knew the entire time. So, kind of backstab me that way, but I'll get over it.
All right, so back to the siblings. So, obviously with you guys coming in later, there was already a huge Scream universe that was built up. There was already a legacy. There was already actors and actresses that had their careers explode after they were in some of the earlier movies. What was your thoughts about, was there pressure to help to continue the legacy, to not tarnish the legacy, to not do anything to taint this huge universe that has already been expanding? Can you guys speak to that?
I was just hoping they'd bring Stu back, but you know. That's all I wanted.
He would walk around on set and try to get the goss. He'd be like, "So Stu," like Jack. No.
The reason why they added Jasmine saying the line "if he's really dead," I think that was because of how much I poked and prodded them. So you're welcome.
It was really intimidating. I mean, this is such a beloved franchise, and I love it too. And I remember going on set, and then also finding out that I was going to be Ghostface. That's another added pressure. And it's funny, you walk on set and the script, everything just feels so precious, and you don't want to change anything or do anything wrong. And then the moment you walk on set, Matt and Tyler, our directors, immediately make it feel like a collaboration. They were so lovely and so encouraging, and they were like, "You're a part of this family now, so we vetted you, we love you, we want you to be a part of this and give us your thoughts on your character." And so it was great. They immediately eased.
Just some of the nicest guys, really.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah. No, I echo everything they said. Obviously this franchise means so much to so many people, me included. And like you said, knowing that you're Ghostface, that's definitely an added pressure, because like you said, you kind of have to keep the secret. I remember we shot Scream 5, or 5 Cream, as I like to call it. We shot that during the pandemic. It was the first thing I shot, and it was in the full-on, 2020. And I remember we were all staying in this hotel, and there was a common room downstairs, and we were all bubbling and getting tested regularly, so we could actually hang out with each other. And all we did was play board games, and we played these deception games like Werewolf. And I cannot tell you how much of just a mindfuck that is, to be deceiving everyone in real life by not telling them that you're the killer, and then also to not tell them you're the werewolf as well. There was so much going on.
All right, so before we open the floor up, I'm going to do something here that's going to be the reverse of something that I did yesterday. So yesterday we had a panel with 2 actors from the Scream TV show. We had Bex and we had Amadeus here. For some reason, it feels like in the Twitterverse and in social media that there's a kind of separation in the fandoms between the TV show and the movies. As we saw yesterday, Bex, totally awesome. Amadeus, totally awesome. What do you guys feel about there being a little bit of a separation there, and what would you do to help bring those those fandoms together to accept the TV show as just as much a part of the movies as every movie in the movie universe? Liana, clearly you're the one that has to let people know who they're going to
Why aren't they on stage with us right now? What's happening?
Because there's already 7 of you guys up here, which is the largest panel ever.
No, I mean, it's a big, huge family. We're all part of this incredible, weird, like terrifying, hilarious universe. So just be kind to people, you know? Like welcome everybody in. Like we're all part of the same family. TV show or movies, big screen, small screen. So, you know, just be nice, it's easy.
I would add that it goes with the meta theme of this universe, right? There are no limitations. It's all kind of a joke on a joke on a joke, a kill on a kill on a kill.
Well, I asked Bex yesterday if we could do like a Stab the TV show in the movies. How cool that is? That's an easy way to get her character in there.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Tim, are you around? Tim Legee? So, okay, Tim, so we're going to open up the mic, but we're trying to mitigate having 50 people up here and then people aren't able to get back to their tables and their signings and all that. So Tim right here in the white hat, he's a very, very important individual. Here's why. You guys are going to raise your hands. Tim is going to be the one who is going to allow you this. So the 2 that are up here are good. But Tim is going to call out 3 more right now to be with these 2. Once they're done, then maybe, if you guys are nice, Tim might allow a couple more to come up. And we're just doing this so that way it doesn't become so quick speed round that it's impossible to actually get the one question that you're going to ask. So Tim is now going to pick out 3 people at random. Tim. This is the most lovely thing. All right! Good job. Good way to pick them out from all over the place, making it nice and random.
There we go.
All right, so right now, this is the 5, and then once we get through these 5, then there might be more. Okay, we just want to make sure that we don't overextend, and then next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're having breakfast with Scream. All right, so first up, what's your name? What you got?
Hello.
What a reveal.
I remember you.
My name is Charlie, and I was wondering, what were your guys' favorite kills from the franchise?
That's a good question.
I mean, of like each of our movies or the whole
It
franchise?
could be whatever you think is the best kill.
Whatever's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yes.
Nev Campbell shooting Billy Loomis in the head, not in my fucking movie.
Drew Barrymore, the kickoff.
I gotta say, the Earl, yours, the delayed tape, it's really, really surprising. I love that one.
Thank you. I die good.
You die very well,
I've
sir.
died 32 times on screen in the course of my career. But Scream's death is my favorite.
All right, good stuff. All right, next up, what's your name, my man?
Hello, my name is Jason. It's nice to see you all again.
Hi.
To separate you guys in different categories. So for the killers, what was your favorite kill in your movie? And for the people who aren't killers, if you were a killer, what kill would you do?
That's so if you were killed, what's your favorite kill in your movie? But then he's like, if you're somebody that's still alive, how would you like to be killed in a Scream movie if you could write your own death? That's a good interpretation? There.
Kenny's favorite kill? That bag of Doritos.
I'm like, it's too hot. I'm like, it's too hot.
I think one of my favorite kills from our movie is Annika. I think that's so sad. And also knowing they filmed that scene for like 3 days straight, and they were such troopers. And Devin is just absolutely incredible. So,
Amazing, yeah. I think my favorite kill, I mean, Annika was great. I think yours was so surprising. You know, it was just out of nowhere. It was just like, oh, you know, so I would say yours, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I paid him to say that.
She did.
I guess for mine's a tie, honestly, between Mikey Madison's death, only because I find it so insane that she's died the exact same way in 2 movies.
That's true.
Flamed, like, set on fire. And then my own, just because I think I got stabbed 21 times or some 22. Thank you very much. And I remember,
don't mess with the Scream universe.
I'm so sorry. I got stabbed 22 times. That's my bad. But I remember, I was on the staircase just watching a take of Melissa Barrera. I'm off camera, so she's just stabbing like a sponge, basically. And I just remember watching my own murder, and it was one of the more just and I was like, okay. And then they used every single stab. It was insane.
All right, good stuff, Jace. Appreciate the question.
Thank you, dude.
All right, next up, come on up. What's the name? What is the question?
Hi, I'm Ashton. It's good to see you guys again. It's awesome to hear that a lot of you guys are big fans of the franchise, as it means so much to a lot of us. So my question was, do you guys have a favorite Ghostface yourselves? Obviously, maybe besides you three being your own favorites, maybe. Do you prefer like the crazy ones like Amber or Jill, or do you like the Billy Loomises?
Go down the line and see our favorites.
Escape. Let me escape. Yeah. Billy, he's the best. I mean, that's what I grew up on. He terrified me up from that. I got to work with him later in something else in Jericho, and even still, he still scared me, and he haunted me, and he couldn't be the sweetest guy in the world. So, yeah, but it still haunts me, that one.
Stew boy for life. Everything Matthew Lillard does with his tongue in that last scene is insane.
I would have to say Billy, but also Quinn loves Stu, so I love Stu too.
Well, they stole my answer because I was going to say Stu, but I mean, yeah, Matthew Lillard is the best.
I'm Team Skeet.
Sure, Team Skeets.
I just have a little funny story. Some of you may already know it. They may have told it at a panel. But I was there during the Stu Mocker killing. Me and Jamie, if we didn't have to work at night, we would go into set to eat dinner, so we would save our per diem to go gambling. But we were there the night they were doing the stab. When he hits him with the phone, that was actually Skeet accidentally hitting Matt. And Matt going, "You hit me, you fucking dick!" was actually Matt talking to Skeet. And it was so perfect. So Wes kept it in the movie.
All right, thank you so much. All right, next, come on up.
Hi, I'm Maya. I kind of shot myself in the foot by throwing my hand up without thinking of a question. So I'm just gonna go with the basic one. It's Halloween season, but what are you guys watching this month? What's going on? What are some personal Halloween movies that you guys like?
Every year, when I was between my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I saw Halloween in the movie theater. I will never forget the scene the first time I saw it when Michael Myers sits up behind her in the bedroom.
Yeah.
The shock of that feeling. So every year at Halloween, I watch John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween.
You're gonna laugh. Gremlins.
The political debates?
Well, that's a horror show right there.
I would say kind of Hollywood or Halloween 2018, because that one single shot of Michael Myers right when he breaks out of the psychiatric thing again, and there's just the slow shot of him on the street going from house to house killing people. I mean,
that's actually the same lot that the house from the finale of Scream 1 and 2 was shot on in Wilmington.
Get out of here.
Yeah, we did. They were like, this was the street from Halloween.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh, wow.
I can't name anything specific except for like anything and everything Mike Flanagan touches. He's perfect, so yeah.
I'm gonna steal your. I was Alien. Yeah, I watch that every year, but also everything Mike Flanagan does. That's something.
And it's not Halloween unless you watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. cast in the theater. It's a vibe.
All right, next up.
Hi, my name is AJ, and I just wanted to know, and it's kind of a hard question to phrase, I guess, but what's like a burning question you've always wanted to be asked at like something like this, or just in general? And if you can think of it, what's the answer to that question?
I have a fun little tidbit, if you want.
Do you guys want the tidbit?
You want this tidbit? Everybody say tidbit! Thank you. So, in Scream 6, something very special, I think, happened to me in that movie. So, in the end, they're in that kind of shrine museum, and there's a little video that plays, and it's of me, and I don't know how many people know this. That's actually a real video that I made of myself from like a webcam when I was 16 years old. Just like a dumb thing I like posted on my friend's wall back when Facebook was that instead of like articles from your uncle. And if you had told me then that this would then be used and repurposed as a serial killer's video diary, I wouldn't have believed you. So that is still one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me.
I actually have something not super similar, but kind of.
Yeah.
I went to the movie theater to watch Scream 5, and I actually grew up with Dylan Minnette, who I love, and I remember I kind of heard whispers of how much fun you guys had on set, and I remember leaving the theater and I was like, man, I would so love to be a part of a movie that has like that kind of family, you know, cast and everything, and my friends were like super spooked after watching 5, and for some reason I thought it would be funny to like act like a killer and scare them. Like after the movie, like I just like kept popping out or like just being dumb, and like they took videos of it, and then when I found out I got 6, they sent me the videos, and they were like, it's so crazy that you were like pretending to be a murderer during 5, and I was like, wow, I really put that out there.
I remember it's kind of also a tidbit, I guess, but I don't know if it's a tidbit, but I remember I don't even know what the word tidbit means, to be honest with you. I don't know the definition. But I think so. Halloween of 2021, I was Ghostface for Halloween.
No way.
Yeah, so less than a year later, in June in Montreal, I was filming Scream 6, and it was like, that was so weird to me. So, yeah. I don't know if anyone's ever asked me that, or if I've said it a million times, I don't know, but yeah.
Factoid?
There we go.
Factoid! During the filming of Scream 5, as Jack said, it was COVID times, we were locked down pretty hard, and Nev and I both brought our kids on location, and we didn't know what to do with them for Halloween because we couldn't go trick-or-treating because of lockdown. And so we had a pumpkin carving party at the house that I rented, and all of our kids dressed as Ghostface, and I have the greatest picture of Nev and I and all our kids with knives from carving pumpkins with their Ghostface masks. Factoid.
I don't know. Just a little story from the first one. They were talking about having fun. Some of you have heard this. I may have told you at the table, but I was the oldest one at 32 when we shot. Courtney's about 6 months younger than me. Most of the rest of the cast were 24, 25 years old. So it was the first time most of us had been away. You know, we all stayed in the same hotel, which is pretty much unheard of. So the cast, the crew, were all at the DoubleTree in Santa Rosa. They made a mistake. They didn't put us all in the same wing because we were on night schedules. So we started partying, and David's room was usually ground zero. David bought a go-kart on an impulse buy. He's driving down the street, and he sees this go-kart with a fiberglass body, and he bought it. Well, I had my pickup truck with me, so we had to go pick up David's, and we'd bring it back to the hotel, and we would race it in the hallway of the hotel. but we couldn't turn it around. We would have to pick it up, take it into the stairway, turn it around, bring it back in, and then sit it down and go. So we got kicked out of our hotel. Well, we got to know the security guy. Somebody in the group found this barn. It's called the Round Barn, and it was about a half a mile from our hotel. So the security guy would come in and like, time to go to the barn, guys. We'd get the cooler, we'd get the baggie, we'd get the boom box, and we'd go to the barn. I mean, I'd at least 10 times watch the sun come up. All of that stuff burned in the 2017 fire in Santa Rosa. It's all gone. But that feeling in that first movie, that kinship between all those kids, that was real. Because we were hanging out, you know, young, dumb, and per diem in our pocket, you know, just having fun. And I think it shows in the movie.
Hey, thank you so much for that question. All right, so hey, Tim, most important man in the room. Why don't you give me 3 more right now, and we'll see where we're at. Looks like Tim might have already pre-staged a couple people back there for us. All right, so Tim's got 3 coming up here. All right, so Ms. Problem Solved. What's your name and what is your question?
Hi, my name's Carrie. First of all, shout out to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Thank you for saying that. Secondly, Sheriff, can I ask the lemon squares? But my question is, aside from the movie that you're in the Scream franchise, if you could choose any of the other 1 through 6, what movie would you choose to be in and why?
Can they also choose the TV show if they'd like?
Sure.
1. It scared me so much.
Yeah, I gotta go with the OG too.
Gotta go with the OG.
I'd say 1 too.
1.
Well, I know we're going to get a different answer out of these 2.
Kevin Williamson, are you out there? Are you listening? Scream 7.
I was sort of partial to the murder museum, you know, because Kenny's camera was used as a weapon, and so Kenny was there in spirit. So I guess I'd say that one.
And they had his Cheeto bag too.
That's right, yeah. Now the Cheetos, I hated Cheetos. So that's why the flying Cheeto thing, because they gave me a bag of Cheetos. I'm like, I hate these. Where I'm rolling, and I want to eat them. So I would play with them so I wouldn't have to eat them. But Doritos now, I murdered those.
I have a bag over there if you want some.
All right, thank you so much for that question. All right, coming up, we got 2 more right now.
Hi guys, nice to see you again. So this is like a flashback to last Spookala 2014. David Arquette was here and he was talking about how he has like a dream to like make a movie of like a horror movie where it's set at a convention. And so, and like everyone comes in from like the stab movies or like the Scream movies and everything, and like it could get very meta and everything. Say like that happened and all you guys were in the movie, how would you want your character to be killed?
That is a great question.
How would we want our character to
Be killed.
be killed? Okay, give me a second.
While he's thinking, I have an answer.
Yes, go.
In bed, after a night of pure passion.
Wait, are we killed at the convention?
Yeah, like say like during the film, like it's like a mass murder of like Ghostface or somebody else that's like super crazy.
I feel like I'd like to die like hanging off of like the rafters or something and then like fall to my death or something. That would be
The P.S. My bed is underneath my table.
I've got it. I am crushed underneath a mountain of falling Funko Pops.
Okay, mine's just, okay, you set it up like this. I play a very dickish version of myself. And someone comes to the table and I'm signing and the pen's like almost out of ink and I'm like, well, you get what you get. And then later, that pen goes through my eye. That's what I want.
These are all great answers and I'm still coming up with nothing. Jeez. Maybe just like in like a crowd of ghost faces, just, you know.
Yeah, smothered by the love of fans.
Yeah, fan love. Fan love.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting. I see it getting smothered by the Dubatine curtain, like choked out, like it's just like, yeah.
I'm surprised nobody wanted to get stabbed in the eyeball with the microphone on the panel stage.
You're laughing a little too maniacally.
Maybe we had this set up, right? No, we absolutely didn't, but that was kind of cool.
How would you like to die in the movie?
Like I just said, on the panel stage, stabbed in the face with the microphone. Maybe it's Jack Quaid because he didn't really like that, so maybe he was like, "You get what you get. Take that, tidbit."
Please write this movie. That was incredible.
All right, thank you so much. All right, coming up here. So, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Erik. Hi. This, by the way, this is not your eyes deceiving you. Yes, I do have an obsession with ducks. I don't know how it started. My question.
Why don't you tell them about the character you have down there too? Quackface.
I have a duck-themed ghost face named Quackface who never kills. It just causes obscene amounts of chaos. So it's there just to foil all of y'all's plans. That's the only reason it exists. But I have taken it to every Spookala. This is its 6th run here, and each time I come with a different suit. So this year is Vaulted Quackface in honor of Aaron and Walton being here. My question, it's a little bit nerdy, not so much horror related. What would your D&D class be?
Mine's a dwarf.
Yeah.
And his name is class.
Mage?
Okay, so like sorcerer, warlock.
Sorcerer, yeah,
There you
warlock,
go.
obviously. Play a little bit of D&D, not a lot though. I don't like to mess around with magic. It's too complicated. So barbarian usually, because it's like, did I hit them, and if so, how much did I do damage?
I don't know. Can you tell me? What would you?
Apparently I don't know that much, but I think like sorcerer is kind of like a wizard.
It's they are technically 2 separate classes. I do definitely see you as more of like maybe a monk or a druid. I can see you speaking to animals a lot. Druids are very connected with nature.
Is that a nice thing?
Yes, yes it is. They are almost always lawful good or some variation of good.
I love it, thank you.
I like warrior classes, or what are like the guys that have like the little like ukulele thing? I like bards too because they're so annoying and they're just around, like along for the adventure. Yeah.
Will you classify me too, please?
Let me see. I'd say definitely for the character, your deputy would definitely be a fighter. I would say for you though, I don't know, paladin. I see paladin.
What's that?
Paladins are bestowed powers by their gods that they worship, and they are lawful good fighters who they're the Robin Hoods just bestowed with godly powers.
Yes. Yes.
What do you see in me?
Just gonna go down the line.
Totally transparent, holding nothing back.
All right.
Complete, authentic truth.
All right.
She just stumped Lyric.
Very difficult to do. I don't know. I would probably say a witch of some kind, a witch wizard classification. I think it's the hair. That hair is fabulous.
And that's the good witch of the north, like Glenda, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You are Glenda.
Okay. I'm not kidding. I was going to say the exact same thing. The good witch of the north. Okay. Thank you for your transparency.
Well, I never really played D&D except for a couple of times in college when it was a new thing. I'm that old. But to earn my bona fides, I have performed on Halloween of 2002. I performed Rocky Horror Picture Show with Richard O'Brien at the Hollywood Athletic Club. I sang Eddie, and I sang I'm Building Me a Man with the original riffraff right there on stage with me. So I guess I get some credit for that.
So Bard. That's what I'm hearing. It's Bard. That's what I'm hearing. You can join Jack.
So thank you so much for that crazy question there. So listen, I know that there is a zillion people that have got questions for these panelists. Obviously, we can't answer them all right now on this panel. Are you all going to still be here tomorrow and the rest of the night tonight? Or is anybody leaving early?
I'm going to Busch Gardens and get scared.
All right. So please make sure that you go back over to their tables, to their booths, go get your signatures, go get your selfies and all that. But first, before we get out of here, we're going to do a little bit special this time. We know that we have to summon the show photographer every time with his name. This time, we're going to change it up just slightly. So we are going to summon him with the words tidbit and factoid. Okay? So you're in your scariest voice. You guys ready? On the count of 3. Tidbit, factoid. Oh, look at this! You guys are 6 for 6 today. You have summoned him, and he hath appeared. So, in just a second, we're actually going to take these tables and pull them back just a little bit. All of us are going to go around the front side. We are going to get some pictures. But real quick before we do that, make sure you guys give a huge, massive round of applause for these